Okay, welcome back. So we boiled this all the way up, and do watch out, it does get a little bit bubbly, and in these little, let's say, uncontrolled conditions, we had a little bit of an overflow, but that's not too much of a problem. We boiled it for a couple of minutes just to ensure that everything was well dissolved and we were keeping everything as clean as possible. If you're not too sure how germ-free your areas are, you'll want to boil them for a little bit longer. Then we've let it sit and it's cooled back down to around about 60 degrees. So the secret of knowing when it's 60 degrees is that you can hold it like that, not all the time. Yeah, you see, to a point that it's not quite comfortable to hold. That's about 60 degrees. So that means it's still gelatinous, it's still a liquid, but it's going to pour. So now, to make sure that we are keeping as many microorganisms out as possible, I'll take that lid off with the flame back on, because that's going to create a good, actually thank you, but I actually find it easier to do it when they're stacked up. But maybe we should actually show them how to do it normally, right? Can you lay them out, please? So we're going to turn this back on, and what having a bit of a heat source running here is going to do is it's going to create a nice air convection to keep all of the airflow going up, so we don't get our air microbes into there until we're ready. So we're going to have it nice and close to here. We flame the top if you have a cup like that, and we go to about halfway full on each of these plates, working nice and quickly. There we go. And you see, it's just like pouring out a nice thick jelly. Okay, so we'll hold up the top. Now, nutrient agar itself is actually derived from seaweed, so it's what makes kelp all gelatinous. And the nutrient part of that is it's got yeast to extract everything a growing microorganism needs to grow. Although it's really important to note that only about 1% of all microorganisms that have been identified by DNA sequencing are actually able to be cultivated. So we're only going to see a subset of what's actually in the environment. So we're going to pour them in just like jelly. Once they're poured, we're going to allow them to set, and then that's when the fun part comes in, and we actually get to lay out these plates into nature. Then we're going to leave them for a couple of days to give enough time for the bacteria and fungi in the air to grow. It's going to need to be in a nice warm condition, so a hot water cupboard works well, but I would say do make sure that whoever deals with washing in your house is aware you've done it, because it can get a little bit stinky in there. And then in a couple of days we will start to see colonies, and we're going to come back at that point and we will pick it up then again, and we'll turn that off. So you can see it's just sitting there, and they're still jiggly. When they actually set, you'll know, because they will turn opaque. They won't be as clear, able to see through, and they won't be jiggly like that. Okay, thanks everybody. We'll pick this up once these have set.